Jude!
Hey!
Here we are again. Got the same shirt on.
Same shirt,
I wonder
same
why that
sunny,
is.
same hot day.
Oh yeah, because we did it the same day.
That's right.
But we're separating out these videos.
Of course, they'll be, tripping into people's inbox and popping in.
So this time we want to talk about the campaign for an auction, how long it should be, why that campaign is that long, and what we do.
So sometimes we forget that we need to keep reminding ourselves that people do not do this every day like we do. So we have a really tried and true over 8 years with myself of managing campaigns for people and finding that formula of what is a good auction campaign. And what we know, Pete, is that 3 weekends of open homes with an auction in the middle or the tail end of the following week is about right.
Yeah. I mean, we're attracting people to the open homes, and by a rule of thumb, I think it's 10 groups that come to an open home, we should get 1 potential bidder. Okay. So if 40 people come to the open home, we could get 4 potential bidders. That's not to say that they will bid, but it's potential bidders. They may be well below what the property is worth, but still they're potential bidders. Of course, with 3 weeks also, it sets the line in the sand, doesn't it?
So the beauty of the auction campaign is that there is a deadline. Now, look, we have deadlines in our life.
Do we?
If you're not at the bus stop when the bus comes, you're going to miss the bus.
Yeah,
okay?
I've got a deadline to sweep the garage out.
I know you have. Now, you leave things till the last minute. But also, if your supermarket closes at 10 o'clock and you go at 5 past, well, you've missed a deadline. You can't get in. You can't do your shopping. So we love a deadline to say to the buyers, hey, look, the auction is on the Wednesday, this date at 5 o'clock, and we're going to be keeping in touch with you, getting you prepared for that auction and making sure you can make that deadline.
Oh, exactly. If people have to work to deadlines, as you say, and they've got to come up with, having done finance, having done their due diligence, like we mentioned before, things like the LIM, get their lawyers on side, all those sorts of things before they actually go to the auction. So the big advantage for, the vendor and the buyer is that actually they know where they're headed.
That's right.
Because, negotiation can be a long process, and in the meantime, there can be other properties sold or other properties bought. I mean, we were talking to someone just yesterday, wasn't it, about, they bought a home, last October, and they're still waiting to move in because of the
vendor had not achieved code of compliance on the building site.
No.
And super disappointing for the buyers, first-time buyers in this case, as they realise that maybe the property they bought was not quite in terms of the deadline, going to be ready.
And that was by negotiation. Now, an auction would tend to not have that. I mean, there might be a case, but when you sell by auction, you want to have that property ready. You're going to have a longer settlement, the same as by negotiation.
I think the difference, Pete, for people to work with us is that we will share everything we could possibly know about that property. And I always encourage buyers to ask questions. There's no such thing as a silly question. Well, there is. But you might ask a silly question, but generally our buyers...
Why are leaves green?
That's right. But generally our buyers and sellers...
Well, it could be blue.
There is no such thing as a silly question because it's not something you do every day. So please, we're pretty approachable, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, we are. So the first weekend, we get a lot of people,
we get a lot of neighbours,
we do.
Initial interest in the property, and we love that.
The second weekend, of course, we get people coming back for the second time, and in between, of course, we've got, personal visits and whatnot.
Private viewings, building inspections, all those sorts of things.
And then the third weekend?
Well, third weekend can be where the buyer has just discovered the property, and in that hot period of excitement, may just be the buyer.
Yeah.
So-
we've seen people come, it's the third weekend, and then a couple of days they've bid in at auction and won the auction.
That's right. That's right.
We've seen a couple
But also, the buyer can come on the first weekend and dutifully do all their due diligence and hang in there. Dutifully
do their
dutifully. No, whatever that is supposed to be. I don't even know what word I use now.
Dutifully.
Dutifully.
Yes.
With duty.
They could do beautiful.
I don't even know if that's a word. Anyway.
Probably not.
And anyway, so look, 3 weeks, that's enough. And we've got that pretty much down pat.
So at the end of the third week, the auction is coming up. So the next thing we do is meet with the vendor and set the reserve. And that's the next subject we're going to be covering in our
next video. So
setting the reserve.
Love talking about auctions. The more people sort of dispel a few myths about the auction and how we run ours anyway.
Don't be scared of auctions, folks. Don't be scared. Come and see us. But to come and see us, of course, you've got to do something that's quite important. And every video that we've done, nearly 200 videos now.
No.
Oh, yeah.
200?
Yeah. 200 videos.
Blimey.
I know, blimey. My word. So we've always said this, but it's good to know,
How do they get hold of us, Pete?
Yeah, that's the question. You can phone Jude on
021 277 844 or Pete on
027 663 0765 or 0800 583 326 or www.teameverett.co.nz or teameverett@raywhite.com.
Hey, let's definitely talk about what we're talking about next.
Reserves.
Oh yeah, let's definitely talk about the reserve set because once again, we know how to do it, but a lot of the time people are very unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, and what the reserve actually means.
And what it means and how we protect you both before, during and after.
Great. All right, until then, take care, folks.